Hello again, and this video is about how to achieve the logical flow in your writing. So perhaps a bit of coherence and cohesive devices. However, I'm going to focus on cohesive devices where we also use referencing word. So let's start with what are cohesive devices. And I think you must know by now because I have used it many times during the lesson so far, right? So cohesive devices are the words or phrases. It can be a word or phrases. For example, however is a word, but on the other hand is a phrase which link your sentences and the clauses within your sentences together. Check the uses of cohesive devices in the following paragraph. So they can be used within the sentences or between the sentences, which is missing here. So I'll give you an example where you can understand how can they be used within the sentence and between the sentences, right? So let's look at the example. One of the main drawbacks of driving a car is the amount of pollution it causes. This is because now this is linking this sentence with this one, right? And this is used between the sentences, right? That the one sentence and there is another sentence. This is because the fumes from car exhaust contain chemicals which this is also a kind of connectors, but this is used within the sentence. So you can see that which pollute the atmosphere. So which is also a connector, but it has used within the sentence, not between the sentence, right? Which pollute the atmosphere. As a result, again, this one is between two sentences. And you can see comma. As a result, people who live in places with many cars, like cities, may suffer from respiratory related illness. Furthermore, again, between the sentences, air pollution has a negative impact on a global scale. To illustrate, to illustrate is again used between the sentences. The polar ice caps are melting as a consequence of, and this is used within the sentence, as a consequence of global warming to which air pollution contributes to. I hope you have got the idea. They can be used within the sentence, like here, within the sentence, like here, within the sentence within the sentence and between two sentences. So these are cohesive devices, right? I'm going to show you the list of some of the cohesive devices which can be used in different situation. Perhaps this list will help you a lot once you learn how to use them, and I have clearly classified them, you can see. So if you are giving your opinion, um, they can be used in the paragraph, in the beginning of the paragraph, in between the paragraph, um, or in the introduction, or in conclusion. Anywhere, depends, right? To begin with, mostly used in the body paragraph 1. The main advantage, if most of the time, this can be used again in body paragraph 1 in the beginning. The main problem, if the topic is asking about problem, cause. So this is one way where you can the main advantage of test, and then you can go ahead. The most significant advantage, problem, or cause. So you can see these all seem to be the first sentence, most probably of the first body paragraph. First and foremost, again, the sequential word, and firstly, secondly, thirdly, you can go ahead like this. So, and describing result, if you're giving the result, we have just seen the use of as a consequence. You can use as a result, as a consequence, therefore the result of this is consequently. If you want to see how punctuation is properly used after them, you can check all the examples and also the simple examples that I'll provide you at the end of this session, the PDF format of 10 topics. Perhaps you can understand how to use them. When you're giving the reason, you can say this is because, the reason for this is, this happens because, this is an advantage or problem because, and the reason why. If you are doubtful, you can just click that on the Google and you can see a lot of sentences using them, right? When you're giving example, you can use for example, to illustrate, for instance, to illustrate it further. All of these expressions can be followed by comma. So that you have to keep in mind. And they are used always between two sentences. They cannot be used within the sentences. Dash means perhaps we're talking about any example is the glaring example of, or is the obvious example of, can be used. This again, you can see the most of the time they're used between the sentences. Between the sentences, these two can be used within the sentences as well. This can be used by using and, right? See some more examples of this. When you're clarifying your point, like you have given an idea and you have given a supporting idea, now you want to clarify it further, you can use to illustrate. In other words, that is to say, to have been used twice, that's a mistake. That is to say, to clarify it further. In short is something that can use in the conclusion part as well. Linking ideas, I know this is a very popular one. While, although, despite, whereas, in spite of, almost same kind of meaning they give. They can be used between the sentence and they can use in the beginning of the sentence as well. Both way they can be used, right? Switching argument, again, perhaps when you're beginning second or third paragraph, you can use them. On the other hand, in contrast, on the contrary, however, nevertheless, making another point, so exactly opposite of this. Additionally, in addition, furthermore, moreover, what is more, and you can see them being used in many of the simple answers if you check them, right? So these are the list of the cohesive devices. And then there is something which is known as referencing words. When you're not able to find a synonym or paraphrasing part of a statement, in that case we should better use referencing word. I hope you know what is referencing word. If you don't know, you'll be able to understand it with the help of an example. So you can see here, this is an example. This is one example paragraph. One reason sports star deserve high, it should be stars, there's a mistake here, so you should correct them. One reason sports stars deserve high salary is that the sports stars set good. Now I have to repeat the sports star here. You can see that a good example for children. It is because they show children that. So again, I'm using children. I'm repeating them. If the children third time believe in themselves, the children fourth time can achieve anything. If top athletes did not do it, then the children, so fifth time, would lose out on a role model. It is why, so this is perhaps wrong. So let's try to understand what is replacing these terms with reference word is something that is recommended in writing. So you can see now the way I have changed it, right? Instead of the sports star, I have used here they. So most of the time, the children, they, this, these, they, this. So I mean, see, one reason sports stars deserve high, again, it should be stars deserve high salaries, is that they set, so not children, they set good example for children, right? This is because they show children that this is because they show them that perhaps it's to be that if they believe in themselves, they can achieve anything. So every time we're using they, if top athletes did not encourage this, right? I'm not repeating this. Then these, right, would lose out on it. This is why we don't say it is why in English, right? So I hope you have understood the meaning of the referencing word. So expressions of the first paragraph will be replaced by referencing words in the second paragraph, and they are known as the referencing words, right? There are some more referencing word that I'd like to show you. I don't have the slide to show you. All right. Just in the next slide for 2 minutes, I will show you some more referencing word. Right. Bye for now. Thank you.